takeaways from the trials and the safety trial that you think are most important?
Schizophrenia, as we discussed, it is not a single disease. This is a mix of multiple symptom domains. The clinical trials, the way you conduct clinical trials, often you get the outcome. So what's that mean? A well-controlled clinical trial with a quality of patients enrolled conducting trial, they are important. When I say quality of patients, in our trial, if you look at, we have a good mix of negative symptom patients we have put biomarkers assessment as well in the trial. If you look at the data, I believe we are the only company generated biomarker supported negative symptom efficacy. What we did in our trial, we using the vocal biomarker because schizophrenia patients have signature speech pattern. We call speech latency. So out of 411 patients enrolled in phase 3 study, using biomarker, we identified 220 patients had a high degree of negative symptoms.
Now, was this done before treatment, during treatment, or after treatment?
This is from screening to
okay, so you measured them at different points, prior, during, and then
so the way we measure it is before coming into the trial, when we enrolled, and the day 4, day 7, 14, 21, 28, so and then 35. So we measured the biomarker in that. So multiple time points, it's very consistency in that. So we tracked the improvement using these biomarkers. So this is again, the analysis was done after the study completed. So this is a double-blind controlled trial. So the data generated really supports drug has robust efficacy for negative symptoms. That's the most difficult. When we say negative symptoms...
So it helped improve, brilaroxazine helped improve...
So we need to be very careful in interpreting the negative symptom data. When I say careful, so negative symptoms, some of the other drugs also showed efficacy, significant efficacy for negative symptom. But the thing is, there are, if the negative symptom efficacy is not sustainable, possibly the initial efficacy, what we have seen with other drug, that may be related to secondary negative symptom. Secondary negative symptoms are not the core negative symptom. Core negative symptoms are difficult to treat. This biomarker, what we put, they are identifying core negative symptom, not the secondary negative symptom. So with this biomarker, we identified the core negative symptom, and then we saw the treatment effect with our drug really robust. I believe that that benefited these patients to be on drug over 1 year, and then sustain durable efficacy we have seen because of that. Good efficacy for negative symptom.
And I think there are a few other biomarkers that you're looking at, and biomarkers are extremely important because it can help, first of all, identify patients, and I know you're probably not using it for that, but it can also help identify if the drug is working or not. What are some of the other biomarkers that you're using? And I think you mentioned neuroinflammation and just inflammation in general, and I think there may be cytokines or interleukins or CRP that come into play too, that can show the efficacy, and sometimes patients have higher levels of these, and you can help identify patients. Maybe you can help us understand how brilaroxazine addresses those and how you can take those biomarkers and modify treatment to get the best out of it.
Yeah, you brought up a very interesting point, whether we can use this biomarker to enroll patients. That is a very good approach. Possibly the technology is not matured enough to deploy in that way, but still we can use the current technology, that biomarker-based speech latency technology, to enrich patients in schizophrenia. What's that mean? By using this technology, we can have whether the patients have significant negative symptoms in a total patient population, and then analyze those patients to get a further greater degree of confidence on the quality of the enrolled patients and then treatment effect. So now coming to, this is an independent of clinician assess. That's the further complementing or reassuring or confirming the clinician assessed data. That is a really good thing to have. Now, we would deploy this one. We intend to do a separate study for negative symptom. We would use the speech latency biomarker for enriching patients. And then blood-based biomarkers, they are very important, but they are not selective to negative symptom. But patients who are longer, they suffer from schizophrenia or maybe high degree of negative symptom, they're an indication that patients have a long history of schizophrenia. They are likely to have more systemic neuroinflammation. And then also, there are other hormonal imbalance you can to a great extent relate to that. One is prolactin, other one is thyroid. Thyroid may be the most relatable chronic dysfunction we have in this patient population. So in our study, we have evaluated both in the phase 2, phase 3, and then in the long-term study, prolactin and thyroid hormone. We have seen the consistent data decrease in prolactin, and then maintain the level, healthy patients level over 1 year. That's very important. Some of the drugs decrease prolactin in the trial, double blind, but after a few weeks, prolactin level we have seen going up. In our case, that we have seen decrease in prolactin in the acute patients in 4 to 6 weeks, and then it maintained the normal level over 1 year. That means that it is very well translated. When you maintain the prolactin level, you expect to have, to a great extent, thyroid hormone level as well to improve. Most schizophrenia patients suffer from hypothyroidism. As long as patients suffer from hypothyroidism, these patients will struggle to recover from negative symptom, struggle to recover from depression, and then it's also
I think they gain weight too.
Yes, correct. This is a binge eating,
factor.
depression, and then it connects to cardiac side effects as well. So in general, if you can improve the thyroid hormone level, if you can improve the prolactin or decrease the prolactin level, it benefits patients. That's what
it's a whole host of other things that it's having a positive impact on.
And then most importantly, the prolactin level also interconnected to neuroinflammation and then thyroid. So
it's a feedback loop.
Yes,
too.
correct, exactly. There is an interplay between the prolactin, thyroid, and the neuroinflammation or cytokines. We have seen all these three in the right direction improve.
Yeah.
So that we believe it is a mechanism based, not just accidental or just isolated. So that is with the 2 large studies with the 400 plus patients, so the data what we generated, that is really a convincing evidence to our knowledge, the robust efficacy, broad spectrum efficacy to treat major symptom domains in schizophrenia.